Big news is coming from the world of Samsung. If you're a fan of foldables, or just someone eagerly waiting for the next big One UI update, you'll want to hear this. According to insider sources, Samsung's upcoming Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Galaxy Z Flip 7 will be launching with One UI 8 right out of the box. Yes, that's based on Android 16, and it's happening much sooner than many expected. Now, if you've been following Samsung's software update timeline, you'll know that One UI 7 hasn't exactly had the smoothest ride. In fact, many Galaxy users have expressed frustration with how slow and delayed the official rollout of One UI 7 based on Android 15 has been. Unlike previous versions, One UI 7 is set to launch much later, and that delay has raised concerns about what it means for future updates like One UI 8. But here's where the story gets exciting. Multiple reports are now pointing to a faster launch cycle for One UI 8, and with Samsung planning to preload One UI 8 on its next-generation foldables, the Z Flip 7 and Fold 7, it's pretty clear the company wants to move on from the delays in the past. Our sources confirm that both the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Galaxy Z Flip 7 will be running Android 16 and One UI 8.0 from day one. That alone is a major shift in how Samsung is timing its software and hardware releases. If this happens, it opens the door for One UI 8 to roll out to existing devices like the Galaxy S25 series much earlier than we saw with One UI 7. So let's look at the timeline. Google is expected to release the stable version of Android 16 around June or July this year. That's the version Samsung will base One UI 8 on. With Android 16 being finalized in early summer, Samsung has the opportunity to launch its foldables just a few days or weeks after that, potentially making the Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7 the first devices on the market with Android 16 out of the box. And if history is any indication, we'll be seeing a lot more about Android 16 very soon. Google I/O 2025 is officially scheduled for May 20 and 21. That's when Google will go public with all the major new features and enhancements in Android 16. By then, we'll likely have a very clear picture of what One UI 8 will look like as well. In fact, Google has already released 3 beta versions of Android 16. That gives Samsung plenty of time to work behind the scenes and build One UI 8 on top of it. Since One UI is heavily customized, Samsung typically takes a bit longer to roll out updates. But the fact that the next foldables will come preloaded with One UI 8 suggests the company is pushing to be much faster this time around. As for who will get One UI 8 first after the foldables, it looks like the Galaxy S25, S25 Plus, and S25 Ultra will lead the way. Samsung is reportedly already testing One UI 8 for these 3 flagship models. So if a public beta program does happen, and that's still a big if at this point, those will likely be the first devices to join the beta. Now, what's not clear yet is whether Samsung will officially run a beta program for One UI 8 at all. Foldable fans, but for anyone waiting on quicker software updates, the release could happen just weeks after Android 16 becomes official in June or July, and that means One UI 8 could roll out to other flagship models like the Galaxy S25 series much earlier than anticipated. Stay tuned for more updates as we get closer to Google I/O 2025 and Samsung's next big hardware launch. Things are definitely heating up.